Yes guys, and welcome back to a brand new video on the channel, and today's video is going to be a very different one. And today I'm going to be doing my early 2023-2024 Premier League predictions via using the class tier maker. And if you're thinking, Cody, what are you doing on tier maker? Well, today I am going to be giving my early 2023 to 2024 Premier League predictions. And of course, you're thinking, why are you wearing an England shirt during a Premier League video? Well, in fact, England are playing tonight against Malta, which I will be doing a video on tonight, so stay tuned for that. Hope you guys doing well. And before I get on to the video, I just want to say big thank you all for the amount of support that you're giving me throughout the year so far. It's been incredible. And plus as well, do you like this wallpaper? Yeah, I'm still gassed about City winning the Champions League last week. So, like 5 days ago. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please smash the like, subscribe, and get notifications on. And yeah, let's get on to Tier Maker. Okay, guys, so I'm now on Tier Maker. And, so these are the tiers. Obviously, champions, who I think who will win the league. Top 4, 5th to 10th, so like near the top half, just outside Champions League, or like 5th, 6th, 7th for Europa League or a Conference League place. Who will finish mid-table, who will be just surviving the drop, and who will be relegated down to the Championship. So, okay, so the first club we are going to start off with is Arsenal, and now Arsenal last season, obviously, they finished second. By the way, that was massive overachievement for Arsenal. And big credit to them as well, because they were really fantastic last year. But this season, though, I feel like with the likes, Liverpool and United coming back, in my opinion, even Newcastle could be a threat this coming season. Arsenal, I am just going to put you in top 4. It won't be easy this year. It will not be easy. Considering Arsenal, they will be back in the Champions League for the next season, which will be absolutely fantastic to see for Arsenal. Not if you're a Spurs fan, but yeah. So Arsenal, top 4. So the next club is Aston Villa. And now, Aston Villa, they are in Europe this year, in the Conference League. However, though, I do think they will be distracted from that because of that a bit. But however, though, I still think Villa will have a great season, though, nevertheless. I think Villa will be 5th to 10th. I think Villa will just be outside a European place. I just feel like with Villa, I just think they will be up there again. But Villa fans, feel free to disagree. If you think your club was going to finish in a European spot again, then fair enough. You know what? I actually can't wait to see Villa in Europe, actually. I actually know a few people who are big Villa fans. So, yeah. Bournemouth. You know what? I'm going to put you just in the drop. I just feel like Bournemouth, they were in the relegation zone for most of the season last season. However, though, the mad form under Gary O'Neill, which they did, to get out the drop zone and finish like 14th, 15th, which is absolutely brilliant for Bournemouth, considering people, including myself, predicted them to go straight back down to the Championship. But at the end of the day, Gary O'Neill has done an absolutely fantastic job since he took over from Scott Parker after the 9-0 demolishing at Anfield against Liverpool. Bournemouth fans, feel free to disagree as well. Brentford, they had an unbelievable year last year. They just missed out on Europe by a point. And I think Brentford, for me, they'll be up there again. I think Brentford will be around, say, 10th or 11th or something like that. But I think Brentford will be up there, challenging for European football yet again. So, yeah, obviously, even though, yeah, to be fair, Brentford is going to be a weird one this season because obviously we all know with Ivan Toney being banned for the first 8 months of the season, not 8 months, but because he has to have an 8-month ban for breaking the FA's gambling rules or something like that. But at the end of the day, Brentford, we see they've done it before. They can actually win games without Toney. They can. By beating, obviously, City 1-0 in the final day, which was, to be fair, I couldn't really care anyway, because it was pointless, considering we were in the FA Cup final and Champions League final. But Brentford, they had something to play for. Liverpool, we won 3-1, and obviously 3-1 away at Spurs, which was an absolute brilliant result, by the way, for Brentford, beating Spurs at Spurs as well, at White Hart Lane. So yeah, Brentford, you'll have another great season. I think when Tony is back as well, he will fire you goals for fun. So Brighton, I think Brighton will be in a Brighton will be in a Europa League spot again. And you know what? People might disagree here, but especially Palace fans. I generally do think Brighton could actually go far in the Europa League. Because I just generally feel like, obviously, they just lost Alexis McAllister to Liverpool. However, though, Brighton, they know what to do. Because their recruitment structure, in my opinion, is the best in the Premier League. The way that they do recruitment is absolutely sensational. With like Matoma, who has been absolutely brilliant last year. Obviously, Jason Steele, a regular starter for Brighton, knocking Robert Sanchez out of the number 1 spot. Obviously, Evan Ferguson coming in from the ranks as well. He has been brilliant. But I'd plus as well added James Milner into the squad, even though people say, oh, he's a pointless player, but in my opinion, that's a fantastic signing, considering for experience, which is absolutely fantastic to see. So Brighton, well done, lads. Well done, lads. And you'll be in Europe once again, in my opinion. And yeah, so yeah, Brighton, you'll finish. In my opinion, you'll finish 6th. Now Burnley. Where do I put Burnley? Do you know what? I'm gonna put Burnley. I'm gonna put Burnley in mid-table. I don't know what it is, right, with the promoted teams. They seem to do well every year. Well, from the 18-19 season to now. So we had Wolves. Obviously, 18-19. They got promoted from the Championship to the Premier League, and they ended up in the Europa League the following season. Sheffield United, who nearly got into Europe. Leeds as well, who also nearly got into Europe. Brentford, who finished 13th, okay, which is mid-table. And obviously Fulham, finishing above Chelsea. Would you believe it? I still find that mad that Brentford and Fulham finished above Chelsea. Absolutely incredible. But yeah, Burnley, under Vincent Kompany, who were absolutely amazing to watch in the Championship last season. And plus as well, Burnley, they know the teams well, how they play and everything, considering they've been in the Premier League for like 5 successive years before. Obviously 21-22, when obviously, excuse me, obviously Burnley, they got relegated. And Burnley v Everton, Sean Dyche returning to Turf Moor. And not gonna lie, I think Burnley fans will give him a great reception at Turf Moor, considering the job that he did to get Burnley up for the Championship into a what's the word again? To a regular Premier League club for 5 successive years, which to be fair for a club like Burnley is really impressive. So Burnley, I think you'll be finishing mid-table on the Vincent Company. So who knows? Who knows? Who knows? With Burnley, they could even be in a European battle, but who knows? Or expected could be around in the drop zone. So yeah, Chelsea. Here we go. Obviously, Maurizio Pochettino's in the door. And obviously, I do expect a massive clear out at Chelsea in the summer transfer window. I'm going to put Chelsea in 5th to 10th. I think Chelsea will be better than last year, but not in a European place just yet. So, in my opinion, I don't know with Chelsea. Well, I think not having European football is fantastic for them, even though it's not fantastic for a club like Chelsea. But I just feel like they could just focus more on the Premier League instead of having to keep focus on the Champions League and everything. So, or the Europa League or whatever. But yeah, Chelsea. 9th, 5th to 10th for me. And now Crystal Palace. And obviously my teacher, she's a Palace fan. So I do expect her to be quite bit pleased by not predicting them to go down. But I think Palace are going to finish mid-table again. Palace, for me, they're just like one of them clubs, right, who aren't going to get into Europe. Not going to get relegated, but just be a mid-table club. But yeah, and to be fair to Palace, this season just gone, it's been strange for them considering they were actually in the dogfight for relegation. For the first few months of 2023. Obviously, Patrick Vieira was sacked, and obviously Roy Hodgson came into the helm. I don't think he's going to stay on though, at Palace. But however, though, apparently Wilfried Zaha might be leaving, so which is a big shame considering he's an absolute legend there. So, but yeah, but Crystal Palace mid-table, and now, Everton. I'm gonna put Everton just survive the drop because I don't know if I just don't know if you know what I'm worried for Everton. I'm gonna say this right now. In the next 2 to 3 years, Everton will be in the Championship because Everton, they always make the season. They've made the last 2 seasons so hard for themselves. I don't know why. They just made it hard for themselves. And yes, obviously fair play to them for staying up on the final day. Fair play to them. Considering, in my opinion, they did deserve to go down. I'm really worried. I'm worried for Everton. I really am worried for them. Everton fans, let me know what you think. But yeah, Fulham. I'm going to put Fulham in mid-table. I think Fulham, they'll have a bit of a decline, but not a big decline, as like what all the other promoted teams had when they did well. Obviously, the second season syndrome, but bar Brentford, of course. So, but Fulham, under Marco Silva, they were brilliant. Obviously, Mitrovic, banging in goals. Obviously, Carlos Vinicius, Willian, and Tim Ream, who was Bird Leno in goal, and obviously Andreas Pereira, João Palhinha. Just to name a few. Fulham, they've had a good season last year, but I think this season they'll have another decent year surviving in the Premier League, but who knows? Who knows before the start? By the way, guys, these will change at the start of the season, so these are early, so. And yes, it's gonna be weird next year, but who knows? But yeah, Fulham mid-table, and now we're moving on to Liverpool. Deary me, what are we thinking of them? You know what, I'm going to put Liverpool in the top 4 above Arsenal. I don't know, right? Obviously, Liverpool, they're in the Europa League. However, though, could they challenge for the title? In my opinion, yes. As I talked about McAllister before for Brighton, when I was on Brighton. Obviously, Liverpool signed McAllister for Brighton, which is an absolute brilliant signing for Liverpool. But at the end of the day, will Liverpool have enough in the tank to focus on Thursday nights in the Europa League and challenge for the Premier League title? So who knows? Who knows? And yes, so let's move on to the next club actually, which is Luton Town. And I think Luton, for me, you know what? Bold prediction here. I think they will survive the drop. And hear me out. Luton, yeah, they will do what Forest done. What Nottingham Forest done. Which is their home form could keep them up. But in my opinion, I do think also Luton will have a better away record than Forest. Even though they might not win a lot of games away from home. But if they get like 1 or 2 away wins all season and they get a decent amount of home wins, then that would be fantastic. And you know what though, I'm glad to see clubs like Luton in the Premier League, and I still find it incredible, yeah, that Luton in the space of 9 years have rose all the way from the 5th tier of English football, which is the National League, all the way up to the Premier League, which is a fantastic story. Probably the biggest the biggest fairy tale in English football. Well, not the. By the way, guys, comment down below which fairy tale is bigger: Luton Town getting promoted to the Premier League, or Leicester winning the Prem in 2016. I still think Leicester's will be the biggest fairy tale, considering 5,000 to 1 to win the title. And speaking of Leicester, they're in the Championship, so. Oh well. And by the way, guys, if you want me to do a similar video to this, like for the Championship, let me know down in the comments. Let me know down in the comment section, and I will do a video like this, but for the Championship. So now Manchester City. Not biased, I think we will win the league. I just think, even though apparently we might have a massive clear out in the summer, obviously Gundogan, he has been released, but he can still sign a new contract with City. But I do think, the likes of Bernardo Silva and Kyle Walker, in my opinion, even though Kyle Walker has been linked to a return to his boyhood club, Sheffield United, in my opinion, I do think Kyle Walker will not leave City for like another year or so, and then I think he will move on. But yeah, can City do the treble again? I don't think so, I think we will win the league, but I'm not sure about the FA Cup and the Champions League. But however, though, Erling Haaland, in my opinion, he will fire in goals again, but not that many. He will score plenty of goals, but I don't think he will score all them goals like he did throughout the whole of this season. So, yeah. City, in my opinion, we will win the league. And now we're moving on to the red side of Manchester, a.k.a. Erik ten Hag's Manchester United. And you know what? I'm going to put Manchester United in top 4. However, though, I do think United and Liverpool will be City's closest challengers next season. Who knows? Will it be City United, City Liverpool, City Arsenal, or even the top City, Liverpool, Arsenal, Man United, or even Newcastle in the title race? Who knows? But by the way, as well, talking about Manchester United, they've had I'll admit they had a brilliant season under Ten Hag. I didn't thought they would do that well, to be fair. Getting to 2 cup finals, obviously losing to us in the FA Cup final, thankfully. And obviously winning the Carabao Cup, which is against Newcastle. And there's a lot of debate going on social media still about who's had a better season. Arsenal, who finished second in the Prem with no trophies. United finishing third but winning a Carabao Cup. But yeah, comment down below who's had a better season. But yeah, obviously United, I do think they'll be challenging for the title again next year. And who knows how they will do in the Champions League, but who knows as well. Who knows? But yeah, Newcastle. I think Newcastle will just about miss out on Champions League. However, though, who knows? Newcastle, they could actually be a threat next season to the title. If they get top four again, but that's just fantastic. And also, it's really nice. It's brilliant to see clubs like Newcastle, Brighton, and Aston Villa all in Europe. I just feel like right, with Newcastle, they could challenge again for the top four. However, though, I think with distractions, from the Champions League, and if they finish third, obviously, I think they'll be distracted by the Europa League. So yeah, Newcastle, 5th to 10th. Nottingham Forest. I think you lot are going to go down. You know what, though? I hope Forest stay up again, because, obviously, Forest, what kept them up last season, in my opinion, was their home form. Well, obviously, it was their home form that kept them up. And obviously, if they didn't win that away game at St Mary's, they would have gone down. But thankfully, they did actually get a couple of good draws away from home, so like Chelsea, I forgot who else they did. Oh, and Brighton as well. In my opinion, and Forest and Bournemouth as well. I had Everton as well, to be fair. But yeah, the thing is with Forest, I just feel like they need to not spend that much money like they did in the other transfer window in the summer when they signed like 30 players. But that clearly didn't work. Yeah, Forest fans, let me know what you think in the comments. Can you stay up again, or will you just be back in the Championship? Who knows? Now, Sheffield United. I'm going to put you to survive the drop. But to be fair to Sheffield United, I think it's either them or Burnley that could surprise people. Or even Luton as well. But yeah, the thing is with Sheffield United, obviously, they were just recently in an EFL transfer embargo. But however, that embargo has been lifted, which is fantastic. And apparently as well, they still... I'm not sure if this is true or not, but apparently aren't they supposed to get a takeover or something? But I'm not sure. But yeah, Sheffield United, I know what to expect from them in the Premier League, considering I've seen them before. In the first year they were back, they were fantastic. But the second year, obviously, they did get relegated. Obviously, last season came up for the Championship. In my opinion, though, I generally thought Sheffield United could have actually bottled promotion. I generally thought they could have actually bottled it when they went on that poor run of form. And also, as well, getting into a semi-final of the FA Cup, which was absolutely fantastic. But Paul Eckenbottom's done a fantastic job. So, for you Blades fans, you will stay up. Spurs. I'm going to put Spurs in 5th to 10th. I think Spurs will get into the Conference League. Obviously, Ange Postecoglou is manager. I'm not sure with that. I'm not sure with this one because I'm not sure. I'm looking forward to see how it works out. Also, there's been a lot of speculation, surrounding Harry Kane. Apparently, he wants to. Obviously, we all know that Harry Kane wants to leave Spurs, considering he wants to leave them for so long. Not for so long, but you know what I mean. He wants to leave to try and join a club that can actually, win trophies. But however, those Spurs just missing out in Europe. It's disappointing, it really is. But that's the end of the road. West Ham. You know what? No, actually, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put Brentford here, and I'm gonna put West Ham in 5th to 10th. I just think with West Ham, obviously, who knows? They could be back to their best, like they were the first 2 seasons, when they got into Europe. However, they are back. They're still in Europe next season for being in the Europa League. However, though, Declan Rice, there's a huge amount of speculation of him going to Arsenal. But if West Ham somehow keep hold of him, that's fantastic. For him, but not for Declan Rice, but for West Ham, to keep hold of Declan Rice, which in my opinion he is by far their best player. Obviously, Jared Bowen's on fire. I'm not singing the rest. But yeah, I just think with West Ham, who knows? They could even go far in the Europa League as well. So who knows? But yeah, and now we're moving on to Wolves. This might shock people, but I generally do think that Wolves will be the team that suffers the drop. I don't know what is it with Wolves yet, right? I just think their sparkle will be gone. I don't know why. I don't know what it is. I just feel like their sparkle will be gone. But at the end of the day, if Wolves stay up again, then that's fair play. That is fair play to them. So yeah, guys. So that is my final tier maker of my early 2023 to 24 Premier League predictions. So yeah, if you want me to do this again for the Championship, comment down below. Or you got any video ideas, let me know in the comments as well. So yeah, guys, hope you guys do enjoy this video. Smash a like, subscribe, get your notifications on. And in fact, if you want to do the tier list, I'll leave the link to the tier maker down in the description. So yeah, thank you for watching this video here, and love, peace, and techers.